I think it's disgusting. There's no need for it.
It's very gross and inhumane.
This documentary contains sensitive subjects about the struggles within the LGBTQ+ community, bringing light to the subject of the community's mental health and overall well-being. How old were you when you realised you may be a part of the LGBTQ+ community? And what went through your mind in terms of how people would perceive it?
When I was thinking more about my sexuality around maybe 13, 14, I wasn't too concerned because my girlfriend at the time was bisexual anyway, and I think that definitely helped ease any anxiety I had around it. But like years later, coming out as trans, that was a hell of a lot more difficult because I only knew one other trans person and they had been out since they were like 4 years old, so it still wasn't quite the same situation, and I was definitely a lot more concerned about that, especially because I've heard like passing comments with people I used to be friends with that, you know, were kind of transphobic. So I was very nervous about coming out to those people. And yeah, it was definitely worse coming out as trans than as bi. I found pretty much everyone was accepting. It's taken my family a little bit of time to come around to it. But then with like the trans thing, I've lost friends and family as well, so yeah.
How did you deal with it?
Just it's sad, but I just had to suck it up. Realizing that those aren't the people I want to surround myself with. I did what I could to try and, you know, convince and educate them, but it was painful having to try, and sometimes you do just have to let go of certain people because sometimes they just won't come around at all.
Between 2008 and 2014, there were 1,612 trans people murdered across 62 countries, the equivalent to a killing every 2 days. Have you ever suffered from a mental illness due to being part of the LGBTQ+ community?
It depends. I feel like my anxiety has raised when I was coming out to people, but I wouldn't say my depression is fully because I'm in the LGBT community. However, the bullying that I did get didn't help.
Half of LGBTQ+ people have experienced depression, and 3 out of 5 have experienced anxiety. What are your views on conversion therapy, and it's still being legal in the UK along with many other countries?
It's really disgusting. That's pretty much my view. I feel like you physically cannot change someone for who they are throughout therapy. It's very gross and inhumane. That's all I can say really. It's just awful.
One in 20 LGBTQ+ people have been pressured to access services to question or change their sexual orientation when accessing healthcare services. Do you think some people overthink coming out?
Sometimes if people do come out, it depends on who you're coming out to, I guess. If you're coming out to your parents, it's a very stressful thing. I kind of underthought it. I thought one of my parents would have been more accepting than what they were, but you know, I guess it's the surprise. Some people react differently to how you think they will react. Some people are really welcoming about it, and other people will be the complete opposite. I had hugs from people in school that I never thought I'd get hugs off, and then I had also lost friends throughout that as well.
Only half of LGBTQ plus people feel able to be open about their sexual orientation or gender identity to everyone in the family. Why do you think that a lot of the LGBTQ plus community suffer from mental illnesses?
You don't think about it so much, but there's still quite a lot of bullying going on to do with it, particularly in like secondary school more so than anywhere else I've personally found. And you know, bullying of any kind is going to affect someone's mental health, and a lot of it revolves around like telling these people that they're wrong for being who they are. And I just think that's horrendously like damaging to your psyche, and it really damages your self-image. And I think that can like definitely negatively affect a lot of people's mental health.